Could Claude Giroux be the missing piece that transforms Montreal's rebuild? Or are the Canadiens about to make the same mistake they made with Danny Briere all over again? The veteran right-winger's potential interest in Montreal has sparked intense debate among Habs faithful. The parallels to past decisions are impossible to ignore. According to TSN insider Bruce Garriock, the 37-year-old forward could be eyeing Montreal as his backup plan if contract negotiations with Ottawa fall through. But here's where things get interesting, and frankly, a little concerning for Canadiens management. Giroux isn't dreaming of the Bell Center because of some romantic notion about playing for the Bleu Blanc Rouge. He's looking at Montreal purely for geographical convenience. This family well established in Ottawa, and the short drive between cities making it an attractive fallback option. The numbers paint a telling picture of where Giroux stands in his career trajectory. After an 80-season journey that's seen him rack up 1,116 points across 1,263 games, his production has been steadily declining since joining the Senators. From 79 points to 64, and most recently just 50 points last season, the trend line is heading in only one direction. For a player who's commanded respect as a top-6 forward throughout his career, that 50-point output raises serious questions about what he has left in the tank. The contract details being discussed tell their own story. League executives estimate Giroux could command a base salary of around $3 million, with achievable bonuses potentially pushing his total compensation to between $4.5 and $5 million. Ottawa has reportedly offered a one-year deal structured as an over 35 contract, which speaks volumes about how the league views his remaining shelf life. This isn't the kind of deal you offer to a player you expect to be a game changer. What makes this situation particularly intriguing is the context surrounding Montreal's current roster construction. The Canadiens are in a fascinating position where they're simultaneously building for the future while trying to establish a competitive culture. They desperately need a top-6 center and a right-handed defenseman, two glaring holes that have persisted through multiple seasons. Adding another aging right winger, regardless of his pedigree, doesn't address either of those critical needs. The experience factor is where this gets complicated. Montreal did lose their most seasoned player when David Savard hung up his skates, creating a leadership void that can't be understated. Giroux brings Stanley Cup final experience, having reached hockey's ultimate stage with Philadelphia. That kind of playoff seasoning could prove invaluable for a young core that's still learning how to win at the NHL level. However, Brendan Gallagher already provides veteran leadership at 33, and Mike Matheson brings his own experience at 31. The question becomes whether adding another veteran voice is worth the investment when that money could be better allocated. Elsewhere, the Danny Briere comparison is impossible to avoid, and it should serve as a cautionary tale for Kent Hughes in the front office. Briere expressed similar interest in finishing his career with the Canadiens, and Montreal took the bait. The result was a forgettable 69-game stint that saw him manage just 25 points while occasionally finding himself buried on the fourth line. It was a signing that looked good on paper, but failed to deliver meaningful impact when it mattered most. Giroux's recent performance with Ottawa provides additional context for evaluation. Despite playing alongside elite talents like Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle in Ottawa's top 6, his production continued its downward trajectory. He couldn't maintain his offensive output while playing with that caliber of talent. What realistic expectations should Montreal have for his potential contribution? The Senators also have David Perron locked up for another season, meaning they already have veteran presence in their forward group, which might explain their hesitation to commit long-term to Giroux. The strategic considerations for Montreal run deeper than just a nice production. Hughes has built his reputation on making calculated moves that serve the organization's long-term interests. Signing Giroux would represent a departure from that philosophy, essentially gambling on short-term veteran leadership over maintaining flexibility for more impactful acquisitions. With limited salary cap space and specific positional needs, every dollar spent must serve a clear purpose in the team's development trajectory. There's also the matter of ice time and role definition. Where exactly would Giroux fit in Montreal's forward group? The top 6 spots should be reserved for players who can drive offense consistently, and his declining production suggests those days may be behind him. Relegating a player of his stature to bottom 6 minutes creates its own set of challenges, both from a player management perspective and in terms of maximizing return on investment. The geographical appeal that makes Montreal attractive to Giroux could actually work against the Canadiens in negotiations. If he's primarily interested in staying close to Ottawa for family reasons, he might be willing to sign for less money than his market value would typically command. While that sounds appealing on the surface, it could indicate that his heart wouldn't fully be in the opportunity, viewing it more as a convenient situation than a chance to make a meaningful contribution to Montreal's rebuild. Hughes would be wise to pursue this opportunity only if all other avenues have been exhausted. The trade market fails to yield the center or defenseman Montreal desperately needs, and if free agency doesn't provide better options, then Giroux becomes a more palatable consolation prize. But making him a primary target would represent a fundamental misunderstanding of where this team stands in its development cycle. The Canadiens have shown remarkable patience in their rebuild, resisting the temptation to make splashy moves that provide short-term excitement but long-term regret. Giroux represents exactly that kind of temptation. His name recognition and past accomplishments make him an attractive option for fans hungry for veteran leadership. But his declining production and age make him a risky investment for a team that needs to maximize every asset. Montreal's young core deserves the opportunity to develop without the pressure of carrying aging veterans who may not be able to pull their weight. Instead of adding another declining player to the mix, the Canadiens should focus on finding pieces that can grow with their timeline and contribute meaningfully. As they transition from rebuilding to competing, the Giroux situation will be a telling test of Hughes' commitment to the long-term vision he's established. Will he stay the course and continue building for sustained success, or will he be tempted by the allure of a big name that might not fit the bigger picture? Canadiens fans deserve better than another Danny Briere situation, and this organization has worked too hard to risk derailing their progress for the sake of nostalgia. What do you think about Montreal potentially pursuing Giroux? Would his veteran leadership be worth the risk, or should the Canadiens focus their resources on addressing their actual needs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let me know if you'd rather see Hughes swing for the fences on a different type of player this summer. And if you found this analysis helpful, smash that like button to help more Habs fans stay informed about all the latest developments.